So, I've stated quite a few times that my least favorite Equestria Girls movie is Friendship Games. Though I know a lot of people love this movie, but as I keep saying, everyone has different opinions. But quite a few people don't seem to know that yet. And in my opinion, this movie is dull, forgettable, disappointing, and I have a list of problems wrong with it. I mean, look at how many pages of notes I have about this movie. But first, I'm just gonna take a minute or two to rant about the prequel shorts for this movie. Just like how Hasbro promoted Rainbow Rocks, they decided to animate and put together some shorts to promote Friendship Games, and give the audience a little hint on what's going to happen. But it doesn't promote anything to a point where it's actually relevant. Okay, let's compare these shorts to the Rainbow Rock shorts. The reason why the Rainbow Rock shorts worked was because it delivered everything we needed to know about the movie. 5 out of 8 of them were about the main 5 preparing their musical showcase by putting together their instruments, and it was shown that each time they play, they start to pony up. That gave us everything we needed to know. The characters had their own chance to shine, it told us the events that's going to happen in the movie, it shows us what theme the movie will have, and it gives us something interesting that makes us wonder if it's going to be expanded in the movie. The Friendship Game shorts? They don't promote a majority of anything. Well, okay, All's Fair in Love and Friendship Games told us that the Friendship Games are coming up, but they tell us that in the 3rd out of 5 shorts released. In Guitar Center, we knew almost exactly what was going to happen. The main 5 are going to be involved with something related to a rock band. How are we supposed to know that the Friendship Games are coming up by watching The Science of Magic, which was the first Friendship Game short to be released? Oh, and speaking of, only 3 out of the 5 shorts are actually about preparing for the Friendship Games in some way or another. 3 out of 5! Pinkie Spy, All's Fair in Love and Friendship Games, and A Banner Day. That's it. The other 2, The Science of Magic and Photo Finished, neither of them referenced anything involved with the games. At all. Okay, the other 3 Rainbow Rock shorts might not have anything to do with the plot of the movie either, but Shake Your Tail is an animated music video of a song that's actually sung in the movie, and it does have rocking in it. Perfect Day for Fun is another animated music video, and even though that the song that they sing in that video is not sung in the actual movie, it still involves the main 6 singing and performing on stage. And even though Music to My Ears might not have anything to do with anything, and it was actually focusing on a character that, at the time we didn't even know, was going to play some kind of prominent role in the movie. It wasn't a big role, but she did something to help the main 7. But The Science of Magic looks, acts, and feels more like a scrapped Rainbow Rock short than a Friendship Game short. I mean, sure, Sunset is in her new wardrobe, and she's setting up the fact that Sunset is somewhat intelligent, but literally everything else involves stuff that they would have done right after the 5 other Rainbow Rock shorts. The main 5 playing their instruments, they pony up, someone is trying to figure out how the magic works, and etc, etc. And Photo Finished isn't setting up anything. You could even say that it could have taken place before or during the events of the first Equestria Girls movie, because there are no new characters, there's no new elements, and they don't even reference anything resembling continuity from any of the other movies. The closest we get is Photo Finish taking all of these pictures to be put in a yearbook. And for all we know, it could have been the same yearbook that Twilight was reading in the library. The other 3 shorts do reference or do something related to the Friendship Games, But they don't transition into the actual movie like the Rainbow Rock shorts did. Pinky Spy involves Pinky and Rainbow spying on Crystal Prep competitors, but they don't really find out any new information, or it didn't come to play later in the movie. All's Fair in Love in Friendship Games is about Lyra and Bonbon competing against each other to be in the Wonder Colts roster for the games. They both make it into the team in the end, and it's really sweet that they did. But the only time that we see these two in the games is in the ACADECA song montage, and they were immediately kicked out of the games. So, yeah, that was definitely worth devoting an entire short on these two. And A Banner Day is about Flash and these two other guys designing a banner to welcome Crystal Prep to the games. But we never see these two guys in the movie besides, again, the ACADECA song montage, and again, they immediately lose the games. And even though Flash did appear again outside of the song montage, he still did absolutely nothing in terms of doing anything to move the plot along. You literally could have cut out the second time he bumps into Sideswipe, and it wouldn't have changed the slightest thing. Oh, and do you remember him mentioning that song he was working on, Love in a Flash? Well, guess what? They never play that song! Ever! It's not even an extra song on the soundtrack CD. You know, like the extended versions of Tricks Up My Sleeve and Awesome As I Wanna Be. And I bet that song wouldn't have been interesting anyway. I wouldn't even care if that song was just If You Come Back by Blue, just with a different title. It still wouldn't have been interesting.
So if I did something wrong, please tell me. I wanna understand. 'Cause I don't want this love to ever end.
So yeah, the short promoting this movie kinda failed. Don't get me wrong, the shorts are not bad in a way. They were still entertaining, they were still funny, and they were well animated. But they don't deliver enough to make us hyped for the movie, or for that matter, enough stuff about the movie at all. So, those are my thoughts on the shorts. Oh, Jesus. Look at how long I've spent ranting already. And it's not even about the actual movie. Okay, so let's just start at the actual beginning of the movie then.
I got your text, Rainbow Dash.
And right off the bat, we already have our first problem. Sunset's new wardrobe. Now, I'm not talking about the clothes themselves. It did take me a while to get used to them, but now I think that they suit Sunset a little bit more than the older clothes. But I'm guessing that they changed Sunset's outfit to make her look less evil and to make her look more like a good guy. But if that's the case, then why didn't they already make this change in Rainbow Rocks? Sunset was trying to redeem herself in that movie, and yet she was wearing the same clothes that she wore when she was evil. Yeah, that'll definitely show everybody that you're trying to be good. That's like if you're trying to redeem Draco Malfoy, but instead of making him wear normal clothes, you make him wear a black robe and hood, like a Death Eater. We're not even 15 seconds into this movie, and there's already a problem.
Did something come through the portal? Is equestrian magic on the loose? Did Twilight come back with a problem that only we can solve? Has a giant cake monster covered all the cakes in the world in cake?
Breathe it in as much as you can, people. That's actually the funniest joke in the entire movie. And I've seen much better ones in either the previous two movies or Legend of Everfree.
Who was that?
Wait, there's a human world version of Twilight? Oh my god! That's not really much of a surprise. At all. Yeah, let's see. we have Pinky predicting that there's another Twilight and Spike who live in the city in Equestria Girls 1. There's the epilogue to Rainbow Rocks, where we blatantly see Human World Twilight and Spike right in front of us. Oh yeah, and every single advertisement promoting this movie had Human World Twilight in them. Hasbro, there are these things called spoilers. They're kind of important if you're going to make a twist like this. The opening credits are far too long. The previous two opening credits were both quite short enough in terms of building up the opening song.
My little pony, my little pony. We used to fight with each other.
But this one drags out for far too long. I think it was supposed to build up some huge boom to start up the real song, but right now I'm just checking my emails and just waiting for it to happen. These intro visuals make you think as though the main six are going to have some movie-long rivalry with the Shadow Balls, judging by whoever they're pairing up with in the intro. I mean, it could have been about Fluttershy trying to stand up against Sour Sweet's bipolar personality disorder, Rainbow Dash and Indigo Zap arguing about who's more awesome, Pinkie Pie and Lemon Zest fighting over their cupcakes and headphones. But no! These guys hardly interact with each other, except for the ACA/DCA blah 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 song montage and the climax. Oh yeah, and the opening song itself isn't really interesting. It's a bit forgettable and a bit annoying. Wait, what? Who's this bitch? I don't remember her. Well, believe it or not, I looked at every single promo, trailer, and commercial advertising friendship games that I could find, and Principal Cinch doesn't appear in any of them. Not even a single line of dialogue from her. I guess they were trying to keep her as a surprise, like that new Emperor guy from The Force Awakens. But we never actually saw much of that Emperor guy in that movie. We were focusing more on Kylo Ren, the new Darth Vader, the one that we were supposed to be focusing on. But Principal Cinch is the main villain of this movie. Why would you make us think from the advertisements that the Shadow Bolts are going to be the villains for the movie, when really it's someone that you've never even spread a whisper about until you've released it on DVD? I mean, talk about false advertising. She wasn't in any of the commercials, not on the DVD covers. They didn't even make a Barbie doll of her. This false advertising is just as big as the DVD cover of Food Fight. Wow, 5 minutes into this movie and there's already a lot of problems. Yeah, why does everybody else love this movie to death again?
The last thing we need is another magical so-and-so bent on world domination coming over from Equestria.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just the running joke for these movies. I'm just on my way to Legends of Everfree, where I will become brand new again.
Well, you don't have to, because I've totally figured out who it was. Ooh, ooh! A nighttime statue cleaner? A magical portal maintenance maintainer?
Okay, unless Aperture Laboratories actually exists in the human world, I really don't see why this book should even be a thing. This early. Or maybe it's a children's book and Cheerly just put it in the wrong section.
Seeing as how they got off a bus from the city and got back on a bus headed to the city, I'll bet they go to Crystal Prep.
And this is the first time that the Rainbooms have ever mentioned Crystal Prep Academy, because...
Yep, With the friendship game starting tomorrow?
And you first mentioned the friendship games the day before they start because...
Because the Crystal Prep Shadow Bolts are our biggest rivals?
Because that's just what the students at Crystal Prep would do? Because even though they beat us in everything, soccer, tennis, golf, they still have to gloat.
And you're all saying all of this before we've even seen them because... Okay, I'm just gonna stop. We're going to be here all day otherwise.
I just don't understand why there's this big rivalry. Aren't the friendship games supposed to be about our two schools getting along?
Well, it's kinda hard to get along with someone who beats you at everything.
Then why are you still calling them the friendship games then? Shouldn't you have renamed them into the rivalry games, or the not getting along games, or... the Hunger Games?
This time, things are gonna be different.
What do you mean?
Oh, you'll find out.
Why do I get this feeling that Rainbow's going to sneak into Crystal Prep again and either blow the school up with dynamite or pour drops of poison into the school's supply of orange juice?
Tomorrow, Canterlot High School will be hosting our fellow students from Crystal Prep Academy as we join together in the spirit of excellence, sportsmanship, and fidelity to compete in the Friendship Games.
Maybe it's just my way of viewing things, but I feel like changing this scene up a little bit. Tomorrow, Nintendo is going to release their new line of amiibos. Who the hell cares? Amiibos are pointless. Why is everybody always so gung-ho about those things? Because collector's items. That's why.
Since the games only happen every 4 years...
Every 4 years? They're not even trying to hide what they're ripping off. So, does that mean that there are some friendship winter games that take place 2 years after every friendship games? And why every 4 years? If this is supposed to be your version of Sports Day, then shouldn't they be held every 1 year?
And I know that CHS has never won the friendship games even once.
Not even once? So, when was the first friendship games ever held? Why does Crystal Prep always win? Are they just better athletes than Canterlot High? Were they cheating every time and nobody noticed? Has Canterlot High even improved their style of playing the games?
There's a simple explanation for that.
Oh, hi. I never thought I'd see this here. Okay, it's nice and all that Rainbow is getting another solo, but I don't think that a marching band is her type of music. This needs more electric guitar if Rainbow is singing this, instead of drums, trumpets, tubas, didgeridoos, cymbals, or flutes.
We're not the school we were before. Yeah, we're different now. We overcame the obstacles.
Where's Sunset right now? I'm pretty sure she'll take mild offense to that.
We overcame the obstacles we faced. Overcame the obstacles we...
Well, that's the true last time that we'll ever see the Sirens. Enjoy it while it lasts. Psst, who else wants to bet Equestria Girls 5? What, did you think that Trixie was going to have some kind of revenge after the events of Rainbow Rocks? Pfft, nah. Even though she lost the Battle of the Bands, let's just pretend that she's friends with the Rainbooms now. Don't worry though, Trixie. You'll get a speaking role in the next movie. This song is kinda good, but not one that I'd listen to that often. I'm just not into those songs where the lyrics are na 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 na, as if we were singing an English football song.
Is anybody else wondering how Dash ponied up without playing her guitar?
Applejack really seems to represent little shy FIM in these movies.
We'd like to keep magic as far away from the friendship games as possible. We don't want to be accused of cheating.
So, if you don't want any magic in the games, then why don't you just kick the main six out of the school for the time being? You won't be able to do any random magical stuff there, and Twilight wouldn't have any magic to steal later.
Okay, anybody have any guesses what the events are gonna be?
They won't even let us see what they're doing to the field. You'd think they'd at least tell competitors what they're competing in.
See what I mean about Applejack being little shy FIM right now? Why don't they tell the students what their events are gonna be? It's kind of important, you know. You know, like in terms of practicing for the games.
Oh, and by the way, you're not singing, you're actually juggling chihuahuas. Ha!
Hey, Twilight. Haven't heard back from you yet. I guess you must be pretty busy with your role as princess.
She's either performing a speech at Celestia's School for Gifted Unicorns, gone back to the past to stop Starlight Glimmer from destroying all of space and time, or it's in an alternate future where King Sombra actually does something other than just being a cloud of smoke. Oh, and by the way, how many pages do you have left in that book? You're going to run out of space eventually. Not even writing on the cover pages would do anything. And if you filled in one book, then is it possible to get or make another one and have it imported from Equestria to here?
There's a simple explanation for that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Wait, is the entire academy made or built out of crystals? How is this even possible? Or was somebody having too much fun with the shiny metallic paint?
Excuse me. Sorry. Pardon me.
This is one of our antagonists, people. A cute, innocent, shy little ball of scientific knowledge.
Spike! Spike! There you are.
Why not? This type of scene recreations happen only once every blue moon. Might as well do it now.
With this device, I can track and contain the bizarre energy coming from Canterlot High. If I can collect enough data on these EM frequencies, I should be able to extrapolate the waveforms to determine their origin. That would practically guarantee my entrance into the Everton Independent Study Program.
So, you need magic in order to discover its origin to let you qualify for a study program? Well, why don't you just show them how you made, or stole from Egon, your PKE meter? Or that magic-containing device. They are the closest things to revolutionary in this world so far than the Apple Watch.
You know the rules against pets.
Well, Spike isn't a pet, Dean Cadence. He's the focus of my research project. Human-canine cohabitation, effects and implications.
Looks a lot more like a pet to me.
If you say so, but Principal Cinch is highly allergic, so I suggest you put on a clean shirt.
Of course our main villain is allergic to dogs. Next you'll be telling me that she's also an antagonist for Garfield because she hates lasagna.
Ooh, maybe she has news about my application to Everton.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Are you sure that's what you really want?
Why wouldn't it be?
But there aren't any classrooms with other students. You'll be doing everything on your own.
So, does that mean that this Everton class is in a shed? Why else would there be no other students there?
There's nothing in this school that I don't know. In every class, my grade's the best. The highest score on every test.
And is that a good thing? Why is this song making it sound like it's a bad thing?
I know there's more that's out there, and I just haven't found it yet. I know there's more that's out there, another me I haven't met.
Yeah, about that.
But I know there's more that's out there, 'cause I've been searching all along. Beyond these rooms, beyond these walls. Oh! Oof! Ooh.
Oh, sorry. I've been watching the blooper reel for this movie so many times that they're all I can think about whenever I hear the title Friendship Games. Yes, I'd rather watch the blooper reel, which has nothing to do with anything, rather than the actual movie. At least the bloopers have way more humor than the movie will ever have.